Good afternoon, class. Today we are going to be learning a new lesson on culture and diversity. We already learned about culture in our previous lessons and conducted a prior knowledge video of interviews about what we know about culture and diversity. Now we'll be learning about diversity. Does anybody have any ideas what diversity means or looks like in our community or classroom?
I think diversity means recognizing our individual differences. This can mean race, ethnicity, gender, physical abilities, religious beliefs, and political beliefs.
Political beliefs.
Political.
Yes, so I see that you already jotted down some notes and came prepared to class. That's very good, Kaya. Yes, it is the exploration of the differences in a safe, positive, and nurturing environment such as our classroom. It's about understanding each other and embracing one another for who we are, for what we believe in, and for what we want to achieve or what goals we want to pursue. So today we are also going to start with watching a video. The video is going to give us a little bit more knowledge about what diversity looks like in our community. So you can go on and press play. All right, so we just finished watching the video on diversity. So what are some things you can tell me about what you learned in the video?
That people are different, like by their cultures, and they are a variety of cultures
So
and different peoples.
Yeah, and what did you learn about the video? So how were the two individuals, like the two students in there, different?
Because they came from different places.
And then also they talked about another thing about CP. One of the students had cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And the student, the girl asked him like how he feels, like if he ever feels different. So what is it that you learned about, if someone has a disability and say your friend doesn't have a disability, does that make you different in the classroom?
No.
Can you explain a little bit?
No, because we are all human beings. We all do some of the same things, like in our classrooms. And yeah.
Yeah, so just because we have a disability or a physical, something physically might be wrong with us, doesn't mean that we're any less or any more than each other. So such as myself, so say I was in a wheelchair and you weren't, does it make me less of a human being or less of a person that I'm in a wheelchair? No, so we should still be treated
all the same.
Yeah, and equally. We should still be respected and treated fairly, right? Because we are all important regardless of our differences. So that's why it's so important to understand diversity, because we are all diverse in many ways. So how does diversity impact your life or impact you as a student in your classroom?
Being like having a different culture from everybody else. There's only one other girl in my class that's Aboriginal and Cree.
Yeah, so there's just two of you that are say Cree in your class. And is there something else about you that where you're different from other?
I am taller than most of my classmates.
Yeah, so does anyone treat you differently just because you're taller than them? No, right? Because they still respect you as their friend or classmate or student, regardless if you're 5'8" in grade 7.
I am not 5'8".
Or say you're 5'5" in grade 4. So, what I want you to do is I just want you to write some answers on your whiteboard. And I would just like you to give examples, if you just give examples of what diversity looks like. So you could just erase what you already have on there and just give some examples on diversity.
Like what kind of examples?
Oh, just give examples if you have any questions that you're feeling stuck. So are there any questions that you have on the video or any questions so far about the culture lesson we just previously had yesterday? Are you stuck on anything? No? Okay, so if you're not stuck on anything, that's good. That means that you're understanding, the lesson, and you're understanding what we're learning. So what does diversity look like?
Diversity looks like
other than religion and other than different people, like what are some other, like if you really think, like if you think about yourself maybe, or think about your interests, like what does diversity look like?
Oh, like if I like singing and dancing and other people don't, then that would be diversity.
And then or even like say clothing, like say you might dress a certain way and maybe your friends don't, like say sometimes some people dress like like as punk rockers or something, like or what are some other examples of other kind of, or like say hippie people might like dressing like hippies, or maybe they like dressing from the 50s. But it doesn't mean that we're different. We're just diverse. We're just unique individuals, and sometimes we have, different styles, or we have different likes, and but we're still the same regardless of our differences. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be doing an egg experiment. So that's the next thing that we're going to be doing in class. So I just want to make sure that you understand what we went through, and if you have any extra questions or Anything that you want to ask me, feel free. This is the time to do so before we get ready for the egg experiment.
Okay.
Is there anything else you would like to ask?
No, not really.
So, did you enjoy the lesson?
Yes.
Was the video helpful?
Yes.
How was the video helpful?
By like another way of diversity, not just by like the religion or culture of like how like different people can be.
So it gives you more examples of what diversity looks like in the community or the classroom or like in individuals. It's just not like on your culture or your beliefs, because diversity can mean like many things. Like they said, like it could be the clothing you wear, it could be the place you move from, it could be music, food, it could be like your interests, your hobbies. So I'm glad you enjoyed the lesson, and we will move forward on to the egg experiment. Thank you.